you get caught up, everyone gets caught up in daily life with a lot of the background noise and with stresses and things. And I think just focusing on what you can do at any given moment, what your next task is a mental skill that needs to be practiced. Well, I think the key to making decisions is knowing you've got the backing of your group, that you're out there on a rugby field with 14 players there to support you, hopefully normally 14 if there aren't yellow or red cards involved. And I think in the position at fly half that I was playing in, you're constantly making decisions. I think understanding that you're not always going to make the absolute perfect decision, but that it's important for the team to have a call, a decision, a direction to go in, and that it's clearly communicated, because even if it's not the best option at the time, if everyone piles in, they can make the best of it. So I think just having that confidence and having the awareness that you've really got to make a call, because in life, obviously, as well, at times you have to make a call. And I think what I understood after a few years of playing rugby was stressing about trying to make the perfect decision every time was actually counterproductive, and it makes you a bit inhibited. So I think going with your gut feel, it's not going to always be absolutely correct or perfect, but going with your gut feel at least gives you an early decision, and you can get that to the other people around you, and you can make something of it. So it's important not to be scared to make a decision. Well, I think the first thing to say is that rugby and sport is not some mythical thing that has special values that don't apply in life. I mean, the best rugby teams I ever played in were just living good, normal human values, and they can exist in any context, absolutely. So, sport wasn't different. There was a lot of focusing on the basics and doing it very well. I think when you get to that international level or high performance level, it's really a lot about, firstly, the motivation, internal motivation from all the players to absolutely get the best out of themselves, but to focus on always trying to be better, working on the basic skills till you can do them almost in your sleep. So practice is a big part of it as well. But I remember the best coaches I had always said, look, you're not extraordinary people. You're ordinary people trying to do ordinary things extraordinarily well. And I think that was an important lesson for any group in rugby, that you're just trying to do the basics really, really well and working hard on those constantly. So I think the high performance comes from just your motivation to be the absolute best you can, day in, day out, particularly when you've got teammates relying on you, and that you're not looking for anything that's sort of, any secret ingredient really. And I think that's the important thing in business as well. So many of the values that you live in sport apply in business, and vice versa, and a lot of good sports teams go to good business organizations to learn what are they doing well that we can take away from that as well. So when you've got the human factor in there, and there's interdependence between teammates and colleagues and that sort of thing, a lot of the dynamics are very, very similar, even though the action is different. Well, when I was playing, the rugby went from amateur to professional, and suddenly there was a whole new world of, firstly, a lot more training daily, but also a lot more of the mental approach. There was a lot more work on applying yourself mentally. Visualization was important. So, visualizing your role on the field, picturing when things are going well, picturing when things are going badly. So almost like, so you don't get any surprises when you're on the field, because when you're on the field, you almost recognize that situation because you've visualized it. So, and coping strategies, I guess, were probably an early buzzword in rugby 30, 40 years ago. Just how do you bounce back from adversity on the field, not just a result, but actually, a mistake on the field. That's another reason it's good to have your teammates around you that can lift you up. They put pressure on you because you all want to perform, but it can also lift you up when you're a bit down on yourself. But I think the important thing is to is to move on pretty quickly. You know, what you've just done has no effect really on what you're about to do. So it's just concentrating task by task and retaining that focus. And that's a big mental part of it. It's sometimes hard because we get caught up. Everyone gets caught up in daily life with a lot of the background noise and with stresses and things. And I think just focusing on what you can do at any given moment, what your next task is a mental skill that needs to be practiced. Well, I hope that people take away, if they've sort of thought that international sport or high performance sport is something something different from normal life. Absolutely, it's not. You know, like I said before, it's not extraordinary people by any stretch. It's ordinary people doing ordinary things and trying to do them extraordinarily well. And I think that's the key, that there are so many ingredients that you have to use, particularly in a team sport where you've got lots of interdependence. You've got to really focus on things that work in any context, but you've only got 80 minutes to apply that to the actual real test at the end of the week. And I think, you know, in a lot of respects, business is more difficult. You've got a wider variety of people, probably in a corporate environment. Most of the time in rugby, you've got very similar people with similar experiences in their life through the junior grades, and as they build up, go through the academies or whatever, they've got a very similar motivation. So in a lot of respects, that rugby environment is easy versus a corporate environment. But then it can be difficult in that, you know, you've got to apply all these different things so that your performance is concentrated into 80 minutes at the end of the week. But there's nothing special really about high performance sport. It's just trying to, you know, taking pride in your own job, taking pride in your teammates doing their job well as well. In the best environment I was in, you know, we took a real pride in everybody's statistics. You know, it's not everybody can get the glory of scoring the try in the corner to win the match, but if as a team you can recognise the little jobs that went into creating that opportunity for the person to score the try. You look back at the thankless tasks of players putting their body on the line to try and protect the ball so that you don't lose it to the other team. You know, all those little things. If you can take pride in people doing those roles really well, then I think you've got a really effective culture.